Tom adjusted the car's seat mirror as the cab rolled up to his building in Washington Heights. Falling leaves chased the curb, and a jack-o'-lantern blinked on his stoop like a slow heartbeat. Emily stepped out first, Chicago coat still zipped, eyes tired but warm. "Kits be good for Dad," she said, hugging all three at once like she'd practiced on the plane. Zach the freshman shouldered his backpack, earbuds dangling, gaze tilted skyward. Clouds were thick tonight, like someone pulled a gray blanket over the city. "Zach," Emily said, catching his look. "You've been reading those space forums again?" He half smiled. "It's a thing, Mom. Midnight. Don't look at the moon, just don't." Billy bounced a Spalding against the stoop and grinned. "Bro, it's Halloween, not moon apocalypse." Kayla slipped her hand into Zach's, big eyes serious. "I believe you," she whispered. "I won't look. Pinky promise." Tom hoisted their suitcase up the steps and gave Emily a soft nod. "I'll have them back to you Sunday night, sugared up, but alive." Emily smirked, then searched Zach's face. "You're sure you're okay?" He hesitated. "There are channels that say it's like an eclipse, but weirder. If you look right at it at midnight, something happens to your head." "Urban legend," Tom said gently, unlocking the door. "We'll close the blinds, easy." Thunder muttered somewhere over the Hudson like a reminder. They'd piled into Tom's apartment string lights, paper bats, a bowl of fun-size candy. A plastic astronaut stood on the bookshelf, helmet reflecting the living room lamp. "Game plan," Tom said. "Movies, pizza, trick-or-treat a few floors, back by 10, we tape the shades. We don't sky gaze. We beat Halloween at its own game." Zach pulled a roll of painter's tape from his bag like a coach with a clipboard. "Already on it," he said, handing stripes to Billy and Kayla. Emily watched them seal the window edges, the tape thwacking like small thunder. "Text me," she said, pulling on gloves. "Airline put me on an early morning back." Kayla hugged her around the waist. "Don't look at the moon, Mommy." Emily's smile faltered for a blink, then returned. "Promise." They rode the elevator down together, then waved as Emily's cab slid into traffic. The clouds lowered, streetlights haloed in mist. Back upstairs, Tom ordered pizza and cued a monster but not too monster movie. Zach tried to laugh with Billy's jokes but kept checking the clock. 11:07. The building murmured with footsteps, distant doors, the comfortable noises of neighbors. Zach scrolled past a warning post. "Do not look. Midnight. Stay inside." Kayla tugged his sleeve. "If the clouds stay, we're safe, right?" Zach stared at the window tape. "Clouds move." Tom dimmed the lights. Shadows settled like blankets over the couch and carpet. For the first time, the apartment felt like a boat drifting towards something unseen. Zach put his phone face down and swallowed. "Okay," he said. "Then we do this together." Candy wrappers rustled like dry leaves as the pizza boxes cooled on the counter. Billy sorted his haul into a tier and trade bait. Tom checked locks, top bolt, chain, balcony slider, then leaned on the kitchen island. "All right, team. Window shades taped, phones on no notifications." Zach laid out makeshift moon kits. 2 ball caps, 1 sleep mask, a folded scarf. "Just in case," he said. "No one opens the blinds, not for fireworks, not for sirens. Can we make cocoa?" Kala asked, hugging a stuffed pumpkin. "Absolutely," Tom said, voice light, eyes not. The TV scrolled local news while muted. A ticker. Community advisory avoid sky viewing at midnight due to mass hysteria concerns. Billy rolled his eyes. "Mass hysteria, dude, see? It's a prank." Zach turned a mug in his hands. "You prank with shaving cream, not warnings." 11:38. The clouds thinned a little, smearing the sky with gray milk. Somewhere below, a neighbor laughed too loudly, like to prove they weren't nervous. Kayla climbed into Zach's lap and tucked her feet under his hoodie. "I'm not scared if you're not," she said. "But if you are, I'll be brave for both." From Chicago, Emily texted a photo of her hotel room, window curtains closed, lamp on. "Safe, you too. Love you, 3 hearts." Tom put on a playlist, low. Cozy fall instrumentals, happy on purpose. He stirred cocoa and counted spoons like counting breaths. 11:51. The hallway outside clicked, someone taping their door seams. In the stairwell, another voice. "Yo, midnight's just a minute, man." "Living room?" Tom said, ushering the kids away from the balcony. He snapped off the TV and the apartment got very, very still. The building HVAC sighed through the vents, a soft, even whoosh. Zack pictured air like water, pushing them gently toward 12 o'clock. He set a timer on his phone and put it face down again. "Don't look," he whispered, not to the family but to the idea of curiosity. Billy drummed a ghost rhythm on his knees and then stopped. "Think it's aliens?" he asked, trying to sound excited, not scared. Zack thought about the posts, zombies, hypnosis, brain tricks, tidal gravity. Maybe it's just something that wants attention. Kayla pressed closer. "We won't give it any." Outside, a siren dopplered, urgent, then gone. 11:59. The building held its breath. Zack could feel a pressure, like the moment before a roller coaster drops. "Eyes down," Tom said, gentle but firm. "We got this." They closed their eyes and listened to nothing together. 12 o'clock. The timer buzzed once and Zack silenced it with a slap. For a heartbeat, the apartment felt lighter, like maybe it had all been rumor. Then the street erupted not with noise, but with voices changing. A laugh clipped mid-note, turned slow, then flat. Something tapped the balcony glass polite, like a neighbor with a pie. Tom shook his head once. No. The taped blinds bowed inward a millimeter, like a breeze pressed them from outside. No windows were open. Billy swallowed. Did the air just get heavier? "Kitchen," Tom said. "We move away from windows." In the hallway, a woman's voice said, "Come see." "It's beautiful." Her voice stayed bright, but her words arrived out of order like a scratched CD. Zack felt a tug knot on his eyes, but behind them, a suggestion. Just peek. Just a sliver. He didn't. Something scratched at the door peephole like a pencil making circles. Kayla buried her face in Zack's hoodie pocket. "Remember the rule," Zack whispered. "We don't look." Billy clenched his jaw. "We don't look." From Chicago, Emily's call lit up Tom's screen. He answered on speaker, voice soft. "I'm okay," Emily said, breath quick. Hotel power flickered. "People are staring at their curtains." "Stay away from the window," Tom said. "Please." In the stairwell, feet slowed to an even, marching cadence. A voice said, "Open up," and then repeated it exactly, same tone, same pause. Kayla pointed at the balcony. The blinds pressed inward again, tap, tap. "Maybe it's birds," Billy said, not believing it. The taps became a rhythm like someone tracing letters on the glass. "Zia-ch." Zack squeezed his eyes tighter. Tears sudden and hot. "It doesn't know me," he said. "It only thinks it does." The apartment lights faded and swelled, dimming to a nightlight glow. In that glow, the shadow under the balcony door wasn't one shadow, it was many overlapping. Tom turned the music back on, a tiny, stubborn melody. "Sing with me," he said, and he did, off-key on purpose. The shadow mass paused like it was listening, then resumed its quiet pressure. The taped edges ticked as if plucked by invisible fingernails. Emily's voice steadied in the speaker. 3 more minutes. "I'm counting with you." "Me too," Kayla said into Zack's hoodie. 1, 2, 3. They counted like a spell, like putting numbers between them and whatever waited outside. At 12:04, the building released a breath. The pressure thinned. The taps slowed. The marching steps drifted away down the stairs. The taped blinds held, bowed, relaxed. Zack dared to smile without opening his eyes. Then a phone somewhere in the hall autoplayed a live moon stream. "Look how bright," it said, cheerful. Doors opened. Footsteps turned. Tom snatched his phone and killed his screen completely. "Phone's off," he said, quiet and absolute. They sat with the music and counting until the apartment felt like theirs again. When Zack finally opened his eyes, the clock read 12:12. "Did we do it?" Billy asked. "For now," Tom said. "We stick to the plan till morning." 1:03 a.m. The city outside sounded almost normal again, almost. Every so often, a voice drifted up too calm for the words it said. They moved to the hallway, no windows, just family photos and a nightlight. Tom spread blankets like a campsite and passed out bottled water. "Bathroom buddy system," he said. "Eyes down when doors open." They nodded like teammates who'd learned the play. Emily texted from Chicago. "Still safe. Curtains closed." A minute later, front desk is telling people not to look outside. Zack exhaled slowly. "We try to sleep. The pull was strongest right at midnight." Billy yawned. "Coach, Can I retire? Kayla giggled. Permission granted. They dozed in shifts, music low, hallway lights soft as a lighthouse. At 2:12, something rattled the front doorknob once, then twice, then stopped. Neighbor? Billy whispered. Maybe the moon, Zach said, and they shivered, then smiled anyway. A faint glow bled under the apartment door, silvery, not warm. Tom reached to turn off the nightlight, then froze. The glow wasn't from the light. Down the hall, someone said, "It's clear." The clouds broke. Footsteps hurried toward windows. A chain slid, a blind snapped up, a gasp, then quiet. Not sleeping quiet. Wrong quiet. Zach's stomach dropped. Everyone eyes down. Through the door, the silvery glow brightened and pulsed like a heartbeat. A child's voice laughed. An adult repeated the laugh a beat too late, same pitch. Tom held up his phone, dark screen, as if it were a shield. It buzzed. Emily, speaker. He answered at once. Tom? Emily's voice was thin. Some guests just opened the lobby doors. A bellman looked up and stopped. He's just standing there smiling at the ceiling. Stay away from windows, Tom said. Please, Em. I am, she whispered. But people keep saying it's beautiful, like they can't help it. Kyla pressed her ear to the phone. Mommy, don't look. Pinky promise. In the hallway, the glow flickered. A neighbor hummed, single note on repeat. Another voice. Open up. Then the exact same open up, same tone, same pause. A knock gentle at their door. Tom didn't breathe. We're set, he said softly. No one answers. The peephole darkened, a shadow passing. A woman's voice on the other side. It's me, from 3C. You should see it. It's perfect. Zach squeezed his eyes shut. In his head, a tug like a magnet. Just peek. He pictured the taped blinds, the rules, Kayla's hand in his. The tug weakened. From Emily's speaker came hotel lobby noise, then a shout, then a crash. Someone pulled the curtains, she said. Tom, more people are looking up. Back of the hall, Tom whispered. We waited out. Zach herded Billy and Kayla behind the bookshelf, eyes on the floorboards. Outside their door, the humming stopped. Silence stretched, and then the building breathed in unison, like a choir inhaling before a note. The note arrived soft, low, carried by 100 throats. Not words, agreement. A door down the hall banged. Feet shuffled toward the stairwell. The glow thinned. The pressure faded. For a moment, it felt safe again. Emily whispered, I'm going up to my room. I'll text every hour. I love you. We love you, Tom said. Keep the curtains closed. They listened until the hall was empty. Then the group chat pinged. Sky's clear. Don't look. People are changing. Zach swallowed. It started, he said. For real. Billy's voice was tiny. What do we do? Morning, Tom said. We make it to morning. He didn't say the other part out loud, and then? By 6:20 a.m., the sky was a cold silver, clouds shredded like pulled cotton. The taped blinds held. The apartment was a ship sealed against a shining sea. Tom brewed coffee. It smelled like almost victory. News on mute showed anchors indoors, curtains closed, smiles strained. Emergency alert flashed on phones with no sound, shelter in place. Avoid sky exposure, do not engage altered individuals. The word altered made Zach's skin crawl. The building group chat blew up. My husband went to the roof, neighbors knocking in unison. Do not look. Then a new message pinned by the super. Stay away from windows. A knock at their door. Delivery, a calm voice said. Free donuts for the building. Kayla blinked. Donuts? Tom shook his head. No deliveries today. Silence. Then the voice again, same words, same tone, like playback. Billy whispered, That's not a person. Zach texted Emily. You safe? Emily. In my room. Housekeeping opened the hallway curtains. Tom, some people turned. Eyes white, moving. Weird. Zach. Stay away from the window. Emily. Promise. Sirens stitched the distance. Helicopters thumped the air without getting close. On TV, a live feed cut to a street where a few people stared straight up, smiling. One of them blinked slowly, then tilted their head in a too-wide arc. When the camera panned, 3 more on the corner turned in exact sync. Hypnosis? Lily asked. Like gravity for your eyes, Zach said. If you look, it pulls you in. Then it keeps you. Something scuffed at the balcony, the soft drag of many shoes stopping together. The taped blinds bowed inward. Tap, tap, tap. Zack gathered hats and the sleep mask. Bathroom route only. Eyes down. Tom nodded. We're getting to the lobby. Then to the garage. We drive to Emily. They'd prepped like a team: water, snacks, tape, a blanket hoodie for Kayla. Tom slid a baseball cap onto each boy, then tied the scarf over Kayla's eyes like a game. Trust me? Zack asked her. She squeezed his hand. Always. Tom cracked the apartment door an inch, eyes on the floor. Shoes stood in the hall, 3 pairs, toes pointed toward their door, still as mannequins. Back, Tom whispered, and the shoes turned all at once, steps sinking away. The family slipped out, eyes down, moving as one. On the second-floor landing, a man stood facing a window with the blind half open. His smile was gentle, his eyes milk-white, his chest rising in slow, tidal breaths. Sir? Tom tried, kind even now. Can we help you step away? The man repeated Tom's exact tone. Can we help you step away? And didn't move. They edged around him, heads bowed. Kayla hummed under her breath. 1, 2, 3. The man hummed along instantly, same key, same speed. In the lobby, a sliding door gaped an inch, letting in a scythe of sunlight. Dust floated there like glitter, pretty, dangerous. Zack tugged his cap lower. Don't look. Don't look. Billy stared at the floor tiles, counting squares. Outside, the street held pockets of motionless people with faces tilted skyward. Others walked with that even cadence toward anywhere open to the sky. A woman holding a phone passed by the glass. On her screen, a bright circle. Look how, she began, and then her smile went slack. Tom herded them behind a pillar, breath tight. Backstairs to the garage. They moved as shadows crossed the lobby like sundial hands. A shape stepped into the doorway, head up, eyes white, lips moving silently. Behind it, more shapes aligned, like magnets finding each other. Wait for the rhythm, Zack whispered. They moved together. We moved between. On the next perfectly matched footfall, Tom guided them through the gap. Down the garage ramp, the air turned cool and echoing. Their reflection rippled in a rain puddle sky mirrored in silver. Zack yanked his cap brim to block the puddle and steered Kayla around it. Not looking, she said, trusting, brave. They reached the car. Tom unlocked, bundled them in, eyes never lifting. He started the engine. The dash flashed a warning traffic advisory, city closures. As they rolled up the ramp, a cluster of wide-eyed figures turned toward the garage mouth. They didn't see the car. They saw the sky framed above it. Eyes down, Tom said, voice steady. Zack squeezed Kayla's shoulder. Billy squeezed Zack's. They burst onto the street. The city looked paused, then rewound, then paused again. A radio in the car next to them played a calm, looping voice. Please observe the moon. Please observe the moon. Tom made a left without looking up. Zack watched the lines on the road like they were the only true thing left. They aimed downtown, toward daylight, toward Emily's flight that might not take off. Helicopters thumped somewhere they didn't need to see. At the next intersection, a digital billboard brightened and switched to a live lunar view. Zack snapped his eyes to his shoes, heart hammering. Same rule tonight, he said, and then, louder, for anyone listening. Same rule forever. Kayla's voice joined his. Don't look. They drove under the billboard's glow without ever lifting their eyes. Beyond the windshield, the sky waited patient silver, smiling where they couldn't see. Cliffhanger, the family clears the block, alive and together. For now. Over the radio, a new alert begins. A total lunar display is expected again at 8 p.m.